I am. Taking days off is very difficult for me, and yet necessary. What is the day off for? Invariably, it is chores, things that I don't do when I'm doing this, dancing or singing. But the rest to my body, to my voice, to the regimen itself is very important. Of the few things in the Bible that I hold dear to me, it's that there's one day out of the week that God rests. This is eminent modeling. Otherwise, I am doing and this is where I have trouble with the word. What am I doing? At times I call it a workout. At times I call it a exercising. The trend of the day is to call it yoga. My yoga is, and there's where I hesitate. I am very much anti-trend. I do everything I can not to follow trends. Everything. So I don't call what I do yoga. Others may. But it isn't yoga. Yoga was manifested by a being in Asia who formulated a lovely workout for themselves, a workout regimen, a exercise routine for themselves. I am also doing that. I also consider it as sacred, as blessed, as worthwhile as that being. And I honor that being, but I do not honor those who have followed after that being and then made a trend of the imagined yoga routine that that person did. Sold it. Materialized it. Turned it into a commodity so they could sell it to all of you. I didn't buy it. I haven't bought it. Yet I could call what I do yoga. I could put a poster up on the wall and say, I teach yoga, and people would come because the word is a trend. In people's mind, it refers to something spiritual, a workout routine. So, I have been doing my workout since I was in my teens. So let me see, what does that mean? I would say I can remember myself starting to consider it when I was around 12. That would align with my interest in tennis. The main thing that happened was that in camp, all the bunks had a a competition. And the competition was who could do the most chin-ups as a bunk. And what we did, in my bunk, is that they would all do chin-ups against all the other bunks. Or we would get the other bunks to go first, and then my bunkmates would do chin-ups. And then I would come at the end and pass whoever or whatever number there was. I had an immense talent for chin-ups. I could just do whatever, any amount. It could be my lightness, but I think it was this lean powerhouse of a body I have. Having such celebration directed towards my lean powerhouse of a body made me honor it so early and so well that I started to work out immediately. And I have been working out since then. I don't do chin-ups anymore. I do my other things. But let us say we do some math. 12 minus 70 is 58. Is that correct? So I've been doing my workout for 58 years. I have a 70-year-old body that is, when I go on the dance floor, I outdance everybody. When I do movements, exercises, my whole thing, I outdo almost everybody around me. And they're not even 58 yet. I'm mostly around people who are in their 30s and 40s. Those who are in my age group, I see kind of limping around the place. And I rarely am in an environment where anybody is older than I am. If they are older than I am, then they are kind of incapacitated. I say this to boast, and I say it as a comparison to this notion of doing 1 year teacher training in yoga and then teaching people yoga. I don't teach. And yet, the amount of time that I've worked out in my workout spiritual way, which is comparable to yoga, is 58 years, mostly 20 years more, if not more than that, than how old people are. In my life, and I know people see that, this lean powerhouse of the body I have, even at this age, where wrinkles are flowing from my body, and where I am slowing down, I am getting older, I am moving towards death. Even then, I know people recognize that I have developed a unique body type. This was what was recognized about that yoga being, that being who created yoga a long time ago. Through necessity, through talent, through honor, through spirituality, through whatever, I honor that being. Those beings who imitate and turned that heart expression into a commodity, no, I do not. I am, in my time, my own yoga type. I am here. I am available. The only people who I teach, however, are people who show interest. I don't go around saying, I teach, I teach, I teach. It's when they show interest and they show a certain kind of forward tenacity that I teach. That's what the sweetie did. She's the only one in my entire history. That is interesting. It interests me from that envy place, from that place of grumpiness, because I can be sitting in a group of people here in Bali, because yoga here is like, there's yoga center there, there's Ubud yoga here, there's this yoga there, there's yoga house there. It's like, really? Really? I remember going into one of these yoga places and singing in there, and they're, get out of here. What are you doing here? You're disturbing the yoga class. I'm like, I am a yoga master. You're not recognizing it makes your institution a farce. I don't need to hang a sign from me saying I am a yoga instructor and I teach you, because I don't do yoga. I do not have a little degree from Baba Impapapa saying that I have studied with him or her and I have now a yoga instructor after 1 year of work. 58 years of work, 58. More than most people around me are old, let alone have practiced anything for 58 years. And that doesn't include my violin, which I've practiced longer than anybody else around me. That doesn't include my dance, which I've practiced longer than anybody around me. That doesn't include my singing, which I've done from the womb to my mother's drum beats in the womb. I don't do voice activation. I'm clearly a voice-activated being. Yet, I do not, by not naming it such, by not giving its trendy label, nobody sees it. Therefore, nobody knows what voice activation is. Instead, they shut it down. So as you might notice, I'm speaking about the trends, the spiritual, farcical spiritual trends around Bali in order to make money. There are those individuals who put up posters and claim all sorts of ridiculous things about their teaching, voice activation, harmony with the universe. That's silly. I always find it interesting what direction my talk goes in. This discourse is so extemporaneous. It's really quite remarkable. That's why I like it so much. Now at 70, now having a track record that outstrips years just about everyone around me, completely dedicated, completely in regimen. I just went through, the sweetie is not feeling well. I'm with her, I'm in her fluids, I'm in her coughing breath, I have not gotten it. My immune system is a beast. The doctor was wondering about that because we went to the clinic. Are you not sick? Or did you not get this? I haven't. The most I get is I have a little gunk, but I think that's because I'm out in the street singing. So I think that what I want to do is come up with a word for my workout, and I think I have it already. If I look at my face dot and my world, I know that Nular-In probably did a routine of some sort. So I'm going to look back and see what I called it, which brings up what I am. Since I speak of I am, what am I? Some of you might think that because I'm so grumpy and so, as somebody referred to me as scolding you. I scold you out of love because you're messed up as a world. Messed up. I am what I call it a muttant. Not mutant as another word that I've created, muttant. That comes from mutt, meaning a mixed race doggy, and mutant, which is something that is different and strange, and muttant. At one time I wanted to write a novel or short story about muttants. I don't remember the exact title, but it was all about mixed race beings and how they have superpowers being mixed race, and they all of the different muttants had different superpowers. That's because I really liked superheroes. It touched me from a certain place, and I am a superhero. I know I am. You may consider me ugly. You may want to shut me down. You may want to arrest me. You may call me all sorts of names, as they did on America's Got Talent. You may want to drag me away in handcuffs. That doesn't stop me from realizing that I am a superhero of sorts. I'm very much like the Lone Ranger. I do my good deed, and then I disappear. I believe in doing it that way. Those people who come and go, look at me, I'm such a superhero, and look at what I just did, those people I don't trust a cent, because they're materializing what they're doing. They're turning it into a commodity. They want something because of it. To truly act with being duty, with superhero intent, with muttant energy, is to do so without seeking a reward. Being and doing is the reward. So those teachers who pontificate their worthiness and having their degree in teacher training or whatever they are trying to say, voice activation, hypnotherapy, whatever garbage everybody's trying to push on everybody. I say to them, stop advertising, stop doing that, and just model that, do it, and let's see if any students come to you. Let's see if anybody can see, because of what you are modeling, that they will study with you this thing that you put on the poster. I guarantee you that they will not. So I've been off into this world for a couple of days now, even after taking a break. It's just unrelenting. I go out of the house and take a walk, and there's a yoga poster sitting right in front of my face, or Reiki healing, or voice activation. There are all these things put in front of my face. Advertising. Ads are stupid. We're full of ads. Everything is ad-based. And you would say, well, how does everybody know what I'm doing? I mean, I need to advertise so I can let people know what I'm doing. I understand. And I still say to you, if you are going to do your being duty, then do it. And let the beings come if they do. Otherwise, shut up. Advertising is for necessities. You need to know where the laundry is. You need to know where the supermarket or the stores are. But this other thing, this is taking advantage of people's faith. Taking their faith and putting it in your hands and rolling it around and saying, give me $2,000 and I'll give you this yoga training. No, I don't believe it. Not in a cent. Do you think that I would go to any of these yoga training teachers to get a degree so I can teach yoga? When I have been practicing my thing for longer than all of them have been alive, and I'm still more lean and more fit than any of them. Would I? Should I? I call myself a droshi. As you can see, I make up a lot of words. You have heard a bunch of them. I am a Twoman being. My practice is droshi. And a droshi is a being like a monk, not a monk, because a monk is very specifically something that is not me. A monk is part of a congregation of males, celibate, in many cases devoted to a type of God. And as you may have already heard me say, by applying any word to that infinite presence, which is adjectives, even that is difficult, turns it into a particular thing, thus limiting it and turning and belying it. Do you understand what I say? The reading of that first passage of the Tao Te Ching explains it completely and as well as I've ever experienced in any text. Read that and see what that means. It's extremely, it's the only thing, only is too strong. It's the most important thing in the Tao Te Ching is this first stanza. It's just absolutely, I consider that the only thing that Lao Tzu could have brought out of the hills, out of the universe where he was, and presented it to the world. Because it would save a bunch of mess. At the moment, the thing that people do is that they try to get everybody to use the name that they culturally use. for this infinite, unnameable source. The reason they do that is because they want to control the faith of others. And that control means that they can make people do things that they want them to do. I do believe that morality is a important thing. How do you stay moral? How do you become a moral being when faced with the bad behavior all around? So tempting to behave badly when everybody around you is behaving badly. So why not create some sort of text which threatens people to behave well, to behave morally, and put the name of something over it as the overseer, who will punish those who don't behave well, send them to another named thing, hell perhaps. All of them speak of this. I reach these moments where I've talked so deeply and I'm like, whoa, all right. Oh, all right. I know a lot of you yoga teachers want to protect yourself and they defend your business, so you get upset with me. I know all you voice activation teachers want to protect your business and bolster your work and say, I'm really a voice activation teacher. I really do this well, and you're wrong. But I'm not wrong about it. It's a commodity that you're selling to people. If you are voice activated, walk with me in the street and show me how voice activated you are. Walk with me. Show me that you can show the world that you are voice activated by walking the streets of Bali, Ubud Bali, with me and sing your heart out. Show me you can do that. I dare you. Side by side, if you really believe you are a voice activation coach, show me that you are by doing this. The last time I was involved with a group of people, they're doing kirtans. I think kirtans are like campfire singalongs. They're extremely stupid. You have somebody sitting up on a bench or a podium, kneeling, doing chants and holding a microphone, and a bunch of people around who don't have microphones, and they're using a microphone. So of course they're more powerful than everybody else. Take the microphone away. Don't use the microphone. Really show us that you should lead this kirtan. Show us. Show us. We were at a kirtan at a place in this, in Ubud, and it was at one of these spiritual centers. We were trying to go in to sing because the resonance is really pretty. The resonance is fantastic, and we had these people leading a kirtan. There were about 5 of them, all of them with microphones so that they could oversee and sound loud to everybody. Sing with me, they would say in the microphone, whereas everybody's like, with their voices and their weak voices, how could they really sing with them? And they're also cowed by these big voices. It's a major trick. I say to you who lead these kirtans, put down your microphone. Show us what your voice is. Show us that you can really sing and you are really activated, because you are not. By using the microphone, you are proven to not be activated as a voice coach. And I tell all those who go to these kind of voice activation people that they are being fooled. If you are a voice activation coach, come to me and walk with me and sing with me in the streets without a microphone. Let others see that you really do have a voice that is activated. Because as far as I can tell, you are not activated. In any event, we were at this kirtan. Join us. And she's in her microphone, singing her way, her simple way. And I was in this state because of what was going on in my life. I was like, ugh, this is so stupid. What am I doing here? And I wanted then to show everybody what really is somebody who can sing loud and can lead a group with a loud voice activated. But I didn't. And I tend not to do that within an environment. But I did have my opportunity to shut everybody up once. I have been singing for 70 years. I still can sing. I'm 70 years old. Get a 70-year-old person to sing for you and see what their voice sounds like. So, I am a droshi. A droshi is like a monk, but not connected to a religion. They are, I am. That is the statement of a droshi. And droshis study fine energy. They see a tree, they sing to the tree because the tree is expressing energy in the most primitive way. As I sit here and I look at these trees and I watch their leaves burst from their branches, I recognize their energy. I recognize the energy of the butterflies as they flit about the yard. I am a droshi. I study fine energy and I model the expression of fine energy power.